Is there a key in the wardrobe?
No, sadly not.
Fuck. Is there a key in the sheets, under the pillow, under the bed?
Rummaging around quickly? No, sadly there is not.
2 more minutes.
Gnomes and locks.
This nigga designed a stupid key. How does anybody get into anything? Did he die with the key? Why would he die with the key? At least Alauneari is not in here.
Does Rain or Zyn do anything while this is going on?
Well, Zyn has probably exhausted anything interesting, at least interesting to him in this room for now, so he will make sure the doors don't explode.
Oh, okay. Turning out here, he sees Ivy just about to open the door she's looking at.
Zyn will glare at her and say, "Don't touch anything, please."
She looks over at him and says, "Okay," like pouts her mouth.
You can come in here and look at the boat that Rilinid just found. I'm sure that will interest you. But don't activate it, please. That would be unfortunate.
Will you keep it down, please?
Fine, she mumbles to herself. She sits down in protest, it seems. Looking at the door that is leaking water.
I assume it's only leaking in, drips, because it's been, 500 years underwater.
Yeah. But there is a steady sort of, there's a collection of water, let's say, on the floor here.
Many water.
Many water is here, yes. Sir Many Water. Of the New Hampshire Many Waters. Right.
The one and the same.
Yeah, the very same. A few minutes later, the lock clicks and the chest opens up. And the shininess of platinum is greeted to Rilinid. This seems to be a collection of, the captain's funds for the journey. There is 600 gold and platinum in this box. All in gnomish coinage, of course.
An exciting 60 platinum pieces. Woo!
Whoa!
Yeah. Anything else within the chest?
Nope.
Alright. It closes the chest. Says, and opens the chest. Pulls out one of the coins. Says, platinum pieces. It seems that the captain secured the funds that was needed for the Himmelsvard for whatever purpose they might have had. These coins will prove useful.
Money always does.
Alright. I guess I'll scour the rest of the captain's room with the detect magic. Sort of point the cone everywhere. Pirouette.
Sweep it.
Yep.
Searchlight. Right. You sweep around the room with it. You find nothing else magical.
Okay. Anything of, I don't know, sort of special or shiny interest, buried under all the journals and logs and points? I don't think Rilinid is Soloro and's gonna collect every single fucking thing to read later. I think he's whatever. What do gnomes do anyway? Come on.
Except the musings of the captain and logbooks and things like that. There's nothing really that stands out on a quick cursory glance.
All right. Rilinid says, "I think we are done in this room. No key, unfortunately, and nothing more of extra value, but we did find a few things that made the trip worthwhile. We should investigate the other doors."
Then we'll step back a bit to let the ones who can actually work the doors work the doors.
Roland looks over at Ivy and says to him, to her in Gnomish, "You don't have to sit on the ground. Try opening one of the doors."
She smiles and gets up to her feet. Okay. And let's see. She goes for this door.
Okay.
Door roulette.
Yes. All right. Opening up this door and peering in. This seems to, once upon a time, have been a crew quarters of sorts. There is a lot of debris and fallen over. There is also 2 gnomish skeletons on the floor here. This door is similarly sort of buckled and leaking water like this one is. There is a sign on this one stating flight deck.
Alright. Try the door on the opposite side, Ivy.
She swings around. Opens up, and you see a similarly crushed and destroyed room. No gnomish corpses in here. Again, a door says flight deck, leaking water. But there's clear sort of signs that, yeah, people were sleeping in here, probably.
Okay. Rilinid then looks over to Rae'nkalar. Now you.
Rain pushes this door open.
Alright. Peering in here, it seems there is a lot of, like, utensils and, like, cutlery strewn about in here. There is something that looks like a stove in a corner here. Like pots and pans. There is a cabinet in a corner here that seems to be locked up and actually have survived the crash. You would guess that this must have been the kitchen.
It survived surprisingly well.
Rilinid.
Not very useful to us, but
I know.
it's a kitchen.
I know. Just eyes like the locked cabinet. Looks at Ivy and says, don't suppose the key might be able to open that cabinet in the kitchen. Might have some extra food for our larder.
She looks at the key and shrugs and, tosses it over to Rilinid.
Yep, Rilinid will catch it and attempt to open the cabinet with the key.
It does not seem to fit, sadly.
Motherfucking gnomes. God damn it.
Well, I doubt they've locked a larder that strongly.
It's super larder.
Standard action, disable device.
Yes, it clicks open and swings open.
You fucking better.
Yes, there is this seems to have been some sort of food storage indeed. All the food is gone or rotted away. But there is a
+2 knife.
exactly. Ooh, I will cut the beef with this. Cut the whole table with that. But there is a small box on a shelf in red lacquered wood, actually, with the crest of Vostenstad emblazoned on it.
Okay. Rilinid will pick up the box, folding into eye level, peering at it curiously. It's a box made out of red wood.
But it's not another boat, is it?
I don't think Rilinid opens the box.
All right.
It's a boat.
It has a lock, but there's a small key sort of inserted into it, so you can just turn it.
Okay.
The box clicks open, and as it does, you see the crest sort of shimmer for a second. And opening up the box, he sees a collection of like powders. Like he blinks for a second, and then he would guess that they are spices.
Rilinid.
They seem to be perfectly fresh and preserved.
Rilinid sort of like offers like the emotional like chuckle and a scoff maybe, I don't know, grin 42, I don't know, some sort of stupid shit, and says the Svirfneblin created a special container to preserve their undoubtedly exotic spices for consumption. Closing the box. These might be of some value to anyone who cares about such things. Otherwise, Rilinid offers a shrug.
Yeah, he doesn't know exactly what kind of spices they are. They're probably valuable.
Well, in that case, then there is a door.
Final door.
It's Rain stuck in the kitchen.
No, let's go ahead and open the door.
All right, the door swings open and reveals another wrecked room. But it seems from the not utensils, but the instruments and things strewn about in here, that this might have been the ship's doctor's quarters.
Anything that could be made to be of use for us?
Let's take a look. Yeah, you rummage around here. Much of the medicines and potions or whatever it was in here are smashed to the floor. Again, probably the crash. But rummaging around, you do find a couple of bottles with some sort of red liquid in them. In the Gnomish, the bottles are marked Fireward Gel.
Okay, how many of them are there?
3.
Are they magical? Will they detect magic?
They are alchemical.
Okay. Okay. Alright, in that case, Rilinid will pass that by. Seems like some form of protection from fire damage, as if there might have been a problem with the engineering deck or some other such at some point. They might be of some use, however they are not immediately needed.
Well, it looks like we have explored everything. I suppose we can take another look around, but I think we should leave sooner rather than later. I don't trust these gnomish constructions to hold this water much longer. Then again, they have been here for hundreds of years, so...
Indeed, the construct said that the Underblood was 500 years late. As such, I do not think this vessel is under any immediate threat for collapse. And if we could somehow puzzle a way to retrieve those ballista without immediately collapsing us into the water, that could be of great value. Those would be immensely useful, as I said, to either protecting Fastervolt or making a move on Vothis. I'm metagaming away the possibility that we might, there's no need to leave, especially since 40% of the party's missing.
Yeah. The ballista, you did say that they were quite words. They look quite hard to remove from the hull. Are they even possible for us to salvage?
They are more or less grafted into the hull of the ship.
Right.
Prying them loose would do serious damage to the hull and probably.
Well, we wouldn't pry
collapse.
them loose. We would carefully disassemble them.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that we could. I mean, they had to have gotten into me here somehow. It's not as if they brought a large ballista in through, the small passageway.
Perhaps. They look quite complex, but with enough time and effort, it might be possible to sort of take them apart piece by piece and remove them that way. Certain a certain part of their structure are more or less welded to the ship, and you can't really remove that without doing damage to the structural integrity of it. But most of it can be salvaged, and if you can somehow, refurnish like the some of the stocks, etc., for them, they might actually work after reassembling. It is quite difficult though, and will take some time.
So, for example, after we remove it from the ship, like, I don't know, making some kind of like wagon to attach them to.
Maybe might work. I mean, it is basically you're looking at like, yes, we need to take apart all of this car engine and like all its pieces,
and then put it back together.
And then put it back together somewhere else and like move it and keep everything in order and stuff like that. So it is.
My character has lived for over a century. What do you think he's been doing in Vothis for decades? Come on.
Disassembling car engines? What?
No. I think they have a ballista up there. That's what Jonas said at some point. Maybe I've had to make repairs on it,
Yeah. As I said, it is possible. It will take some time and effort, but it is, in your opinion, possible.
Okay.
But if it's possible, then we'll do it, because ballista is fuck yeah.
Roast.
It's not as if we're going to be able to use them directly, but I'd hate to, ruin them and scrap them. I mean, quad-firing, rotating ballista? Come on.
Repeating ballista.
Come on. Yep. We've already come so far. We have, 400 ballista bolts. Come on.
Really, this is the closest thing we're going to get to, a machine gun. So.
Ballista!
You would guess that perhaps 2-3 days for disassembling them and carefully moving them into the Underblood.
Okay. Was there an air gauge for the Himmelsvard, sort of the skies?
Not really. You don't think after you've done this, you are pretty sure that there will not be much air left here at all.
All right.
Probably need to hold your breath for a bit, or even I'll say bring in air somehow, but that's kind of difficult.
Well.
Get like a giant snorkel.
Well, you take the sub, go up to the surface, fill that up, come down, release the pressure in.
Yeah, you could potentially do that actually.
Yeah.
I mean, pressure says that would work fine.
We do have plenty of fuel, so I'm sure we can do something.
Yeah. We do, in addition to our full fuel tank of common lamp oil, we have 150 gallons of refined oil.
Yeah, gnomish refined fuel.
Which will last a lot longer than fucking lamp oil will, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely more high grade, and it is definitely more efficient.
All right. In that case, I suppose that could be what Team Masculine attempts to do.
All right.
In between, then, my character can definitely go through, examine all of the rooms with detect magic, along with his eyes, just to make sure he didn't miss anything. Particularly this room that released the steam. There might have been something magical that survived within all the debris that he didn't notice earlier. Stuff like that.
Yeah, Zyn probably can't really help much disassembling these things either.
But his eyes, he can keep a lookout.
Yes. Well, he can double check all the rooms.
Plus, you can also do muscle work.
That's right.
I suppose, yeah.
And Ivy will be happy to dance around and keep gushing about various things and how they're cool.
Oh yes, she loves that stuff.
So let's go ahead and make 2 to 3 days worth of spellcraft checks for those fucking pearls. That's God damn you. God damn you.
You can always reroll.
Motherfucker. Should just fucking
Success!
take it
yeah, those pearls after days of just staring at them. Why do this? God damn it!
Why would the gnomes have pearls? It doesn't make any sense compared to everything else,
But the boat box does make sense, of course.
Yeah. I was trying to be fancy and not. I was trying to be fancy and not take 10, and the random numbers were like, no, you should have taken 10.
What do you have against the boat box?
It's a box, but it's a boat.
Think about all the good things the boat box has done for you.
Rilinid identifies the small charm as a noble's vigilant pillbox.
The fuck? Yeah, I could have fucking taken down on, but where would the fun have been in that? Noble's vigilant pillbox. Ha. Ha.
That's an interesting item.
Ha. Cool. I have a heart-shaped charm. Yeah.
Yay!
That's right. Now, what are we going to tell Alauneari? We're going to tell her that we found the 150 gallons of fuel, we found a clockwork gnome, and we found...
And nothing else.
That's right. We have to stay here for a few days because of quad-firing, repeating ballista that would do wonders with safeguarding our future holdings. And she'll give this sort of haughty, arrogant nod and like, very well, brothers, be quick about it, but make it happen for me.
Exactly.
Acquire them for me.
Exactly.
Right. With like this dismissive wave, and then we'll be free.
It's like, now we stay aboard this ship to get away from her.
I know. Then Meek...
She's just switching ships to get away from Alauneari.
That's right.
Maybe we can stay.
And Miku will finally be allowed out of the fucking submarine. Like, oh my goodness, you see this? This is incredible. We can undergo that again. And during the 3 days, we've had some time, so while we're alone, could be like, Rilinid could be like, so, how was the trip to the city? So, how was your trip to the city of Zyn? Did you encounter any troubles, Zyn?
No, it was surprisingly easy, considering we traveled a long way through the fungal jungle. There were no dangers at all, really.
So, how did Alauneari handle it? Her moods have been more severe as of late. Did she reveal anything?
Well, we didn't really talk that much. I did teach her the sign language, which I could hardly refuse her,
And then you notice he just looks away from Zyn.
Rilinid.
It has certain strategic advantages for the future, but I think you should know that she might be able to understand.
Brain
now.
just signs backward. Now I can't use this for a secret language.
Rilinid says, yes, our century of enjoying an Alauneari-free method of conversation has come to an end. And then piping up in Gnomish to Rae'nkalar, I suppose there's always this.
Yeah, I mean, Ivy can understand, but that's fine.
Ivy is currently happily poking at the mechanical gnome.
Even Zyn can't understand this.
Yeah.
I throw a random insult towards Zyn.
Something that maybe Ivy taught him, just for fun.
Yeah.
You say this, it really means that you hate him.
Then throws a random arrow back.
You don't know what I'm saying, bro. I didn't even refer to you.
Maybe he can see the grin on
So
Ivy's face and discern it.
That's right. Zyn is great at reading people,
Oh yes, he's an expert.
Very great, yes. Let's see.
Very well. Well, that was actually quite good.
My first good roll on that.
Oh well, you are pretty sure that the others are being facetious and cruel at your expense.
Zyn frowns and says, maybe one of you should teach me Gnomish at some point. It seems to be a good alternative.
Ivy shuts up a hand. I can do it!
Rilinid shrugs. Well, we know for sure that Alauneari will never want to learn Gnomish.
Yes, that's what makes it so attractive right now.
Ivy looks around. If you don't like her, why do you travel around with her?
Now that you ask, that's a really
Sort of a long pause, maybe like drops something that he was using to help try to dismantle the ballista. slowly stands up, turns around on Ivy. Just like a slow rotate. First the head, and then the upper torso. The rest of the hips swivel, and then the legs follow. It's like this melodramatic, like some sort of like stupid rakish flourish that people would do when they're being,
Of course.
excessive. But he's in the flair of the moment.
Oh.
And it says, Ivy, what happened to your family?
She, fidgets a bit and say, dead.
Rilinid nods. Alauneari is, regrettably, our sister, and we were charged with someone whom we all respect and fear to look after our family, no matter how inept or delusional they might be. To this extent, Alauneari is just as intellectually crippled as Trislin is, having sustained severe damage from our escape from assassins from the ancient city of Taurisia. As such, we, out of both respect and fear, indulge Alauneari.
Ivy seems to consider. And then she nods. Yeah, I think I understand. Family is important.
Yes.
I guess I would protect mine if I were still alive. Their eyes glaze over for a second, sort of remembering things. And then she nods. Yeah, I think I understand.
It is not a normal sentiment in our culture. However, as we have been ostracized for it for so long, we have learned to develop survival mechanisms. You would understand survival, Ivy.
She nods. Yes. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I mean, you survive better with others, usually.
Indeed.
She smiles, looking down at the gnome.
Rilinid just lets her go with that. So that is why we still travel with Alauneari. Besides, someone needs to be the face of the family, for after all, it is the head of the family who attracts the most attention. No one cares about assassinating someone who isn't the Drow matron, after all, right? So like this emotionless, cold chuckle coming from the other side of the mask.
She nods. I see. That's kind of smart. She's when people attack her, you can strike him down. Pow! And she does a little jab with her hand.
Yes, that happened as much in Fastervault, when an assassin from our old home had come after us to sabotage our gains. It turns out Alauneari is so... Then he struggles to think of a word.
Haughty?
Unique, that it seems everyone has a stake in wanting to harm her in some form of fashion, making her an excellent target, and that is why she must be the matron.
Yeah, she is quite unique, as you put it, but I do think she is capable in the right environment, though getting her into the right environment is our current problem, I guess. His meaning is not quite sure who you would guess.
Ivy seems to consider this and nod. Says, yes, I've seen her fight. She's powerful.
It is as you, after all, you excel whenever your opponent is distracted, particularly with those cleverly sharp knives of yours.
She smiles. Yeah, I like to stick it where it hurts.
Rilinid just offers up another, emotionless chuckle. Do you have any input, Rae'nkalar?
Can I make a bluff check to make you guys think I'm not laughing?
Sure, it'll be opposed by my sense motive.
It's like, he is so serious.
Holy shit!
I'm not laughing.
Wow.
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 That's
Considering I have a -1 to this check.
I tanked my sense motive. Ivy knows.
So Ivy knows I'm laughing, but no one else does.
Ivy knows. She smiles to herself.
Always so serious, Rae'nkalar. It would be as if you secretly loved Alauneari and would truly wish nothing but her protection. Shaking his head.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. Though, I do try and protect her. Sometimes, I wish I don't.
Are you snorting over there? Really, just sort of like turns his shoulder.
No, it's air so stale in here.
Ivy nods at this.
Stale air. Strange you weren't doing that snorting earlier.
You must have just not noticed.
Well, the air does get staler over time, so maybe it's in trucks.
Very well.
I'm not buying it though.
Rilinid just, suspiciously turns back like, whatever, it doesn't matter.